A successful entrepreneur and motivational speaker with his whole life before him. He was found shot in the face with 27 stab wounds and a slit throat inside his luxury 5-bedroom home. The prime suspect? His jilted lover. And tonight, she changes her story, now insisting I had to do it in self-defense. For the latest, let's go out to Alexis Tereszcuk, senior reporter with Radar Online. All right, Alexis, we are on the eve of trial in this case, and now suddenly the defense has changed. What is the new defense that Jodi Arias is asserting?
Well, Jodi is actually saying that it was self-defense, that she had to kill him. This is a horrific crime. The violence that this was visited upon this man, he was stabbed 27 times. His throat was slit, but it was slit from ear to ear, and he was shot in the head, and she lied repeatedly to the police. She first claimed she wasn't at the scene. Then she said that 2 intruders came in, a man and a woman in disguise, and they killed him. And then she finally admitted she did it. But now she's saying it's self-defense. She's facing the death penalty if she's convicted of murdering him. All
right. So David Lohr, senior crime reporter of the Huffington Post, joining us tonight. So this new defense is self-defense. I had to do it. I was in imminent fear of death and serious bodily injury from Travis Alexander, someone that I cared so much about, and I had to kill him. What was the first defense? And she said it herself in an interview, right?
That's correct, Nancy. Well, in the very beginning, when she was first questioned by police, she said, well, I wasn't even there. I hadn't seen him for several months. Then once they were able to place her at the scene, using DNA and other evidence, she says, well, yeah, I was there, but there was these 2 intruders that barged in. It was a home invasion. They shot him. They went to shoot me, but the gun misfired, so I was able to get up and run away. Well, now she's changed her story again, this time saying that he was supposedly abusive to her. When she was there, she dropped his camera. He became enraged, and then she had to kill him in self-defense, is what she's claiming now.
And David Lohr, according to this first offense, the masked intruders that came, the home invasion, she didn't tell anybody afterwards, nobody, because she was scared, right? To Joe Gomez, news director, KTRH Radio, joining us tonight out of Houston on a very serious note, because this is a death penalty case. The state of Arizona is seeking death. What was the condition of the body of Travis Alexander when it was found?
It was horrifically disfigured, Gene. My goodness, I mean, the throat was slit from ear to ear. 27 stab wounds on this man's body, including Gene, a stab wound directly into his heart and a shot to the face. Presumably, he must have been shot to the face. He survived the shot to the face, and then he was stabbed 27 times, Gene. Blood all over the bedroom, blood all over the bathroom. Of course, it was discovered on the floor of the shower.
Horrific, horrific crime. To Andrew Scott, former chief of police of Boca Raton, Florida, now president of AJS Consulting. You know, when you look at the affirmative defense of self-defense, the defendant is admitting that she did it. She's admitting that she stabbed him 27 times, admitting slit his throat. But you know what, Andrew, let's say it what it is. She attempted to decapitate him. That's what she attempted to do. She attempted to assassinate him with 1 bullet to the head, but it didn't work. This defense isn't going to work.
No, absolutely not. The physical evidence is too telltale, and it's totally opposite of what she's claiming has occurred. And when you have multiple stab wounds, a slit throat, and then a gunshot to the head, clearly this was not an issue of defense. It was an aggressive stance taken by the individual, and clearly the self-defense rule is going to be a hard type of defense they're going to have to contend with. I don't believe it was.
And to Peter Odom, defense attorney joining us out of Washington, D.C., let's look at self-defense, because it's very much in the law and many times, and the defense is asserting that she was in fear for her life in this circumstance.
Right. Remember, Gene, that the defendant doesn't have to prove that she acted in self-defense. The state has to prove that she didn't.
But
so I disagree that it's going to be difficult for her to prove anything. The state has to prove she didn't act in self-defense.
But isn't the defense going to have to put on some evidence of domestic abuse if they say that there was a history of domestic abuse?
They will. They'll have to put on some evidence that the defendant acted in self-defense, but it doesn't have to be much to get the instruction. Remember, she doesn't have to convince 12 jurors that she acted in self-defense. She only has to demonstrate reasonable doubt in one juror's mind.